Extreme rainfall is expected to continue until tomorrow. Councils in England and Wales have called on the government to ban all disposable vapes by next year. The local government association says that they are a health and environmental hazard. But the chair of the local government association's Wellbeing Board told Sky News why he was opposed to disposable vapes.
The LGA are not against vaping at all. Vaping is a really good way to stop people from smoking. It's a good alternative. And for those people that have got a habit of smoking, then vaping is a really good way out of that. But for younger people and for other people, they're now using disposable vapes as a really cheap way into smoking and creating a nicotine habit. So we're concerned that there is a health issue, that they are buying these and they are now habit at a very early developmental age. And you've also heard about the littering problems as well, in so much as 1.3 million of these are thrown away every week. Now, they're not all going on the floor, but if they were, it would cover 22 football pitches. It is a huge problem.
Well, earlier I spoke to our correspondent Milena Veselinovic about it.
These vapes are created as a single unit, so you can't separate the batteries from the plastic very easily. They need to go through a special process if you want to recycle them, and that is a very costly process, and it is obviously the taxpayers who pay for it. So that's one of the reasons why councils are concerned. Also, the batteries, the single vapes use are lithium batteries, so when they're being crushed, they tend to overheat, which can cause a fire, obviously. Yeah, and when you think about bin lorries and the rubbish being crushed, that's obviously a risk. Now, the Vaping Association, the industry association, they say, well, look, the vapes are actually helping people who are smoking reduce their nicotine intake, help them stop smoking, so that can only be a good thing. They've released a statement defending their position. I'm going to read you some of it. They say, experience across the world shows that where blanket bans have been introduced on regulated single-use vapes, there is a massive influx of illegal, untested and potentially deadly black market products which take their place, and this is in nobody's interest. It also makes absolutely no sense to call for a ban on disposable vapes while ignoring the much bigger problem of smoking and its related litter, which accounts for 68% of all litter in the UK, and discarded cigarette butts alone cost local authorities £40 million a year to clean up. I think in response to that, the council would say, well, they're not ignoring the litter and the problems, obvious health problems that come from smoking, but they have a problem with not refillable vapes, but these single-use vapes for various reasons that we've just heard. Also, them being potentially maybe marketed more towards young people with different flavourings that might be attractive to them.
And in terms of a potential ban, how does the UK sit in an international comparison?
Well, when you look at other countries and what they're doing, in France, they are actually rolling out a ban in December of this year. The EU as a whole are considering a ban by 2026. So the UK would then be an outlier. There would be an available market for the companies. And that's one of the reasons why councils are worried that it might actually at that point flood the UK market with loads and loads of these products, which might be quite hard to actually get control on at that point.
A man arrested over 3 of 11 unsolved killings in the US. The Gilgo Beach murders, as they're known, have captured world attention through a true crime documentary. Rex Heuermann was detained after detectives matched DNA from a pizza that he had eaten. Our US correspondent James Matthews reports.
Police call him the Demon.
Rex, you do it?
They say Rex Heuermann, a New York architect, is the serial killer they've hunted for over a decade. He's been charged with the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman and Amber Costello. And he's the prime suspect in the death of Maureen Brainard Barnes. They are known as the Gilgo Four. The bodies of the women, believed to be sex workers, were found close to each other on Gilgo Beach in suburban Long Island. Police arrested 59-year-old Heuermann, a married father of 2, after reopening an investigation that had gone cold.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families. And if not for the members of this task force, he would still be out in the streets today.
I do troubleshooting, architectural troubleshooting.
This is an interview with Huerman last year, posted on YouTube, talking about his work.
Do we do the standard stuff with the building department? Handle your filings? I have other clients who are a lot of other architects.
He came to the attention of police when they matched the description of a suspect's car to his. A witness had described a man resembling an ogre. This is CCTV of the 6'6" architect near his Manhattan office, as agents who'd had him under surveillance moved in to arrest him. Detectives had seen him put a pizza box into this bin in New York last January. DNA on the discarded pizza crust connected Huerman to a hair on one of the victims. And police linked burner phones owned by him to devices used to contact the woman who died, and to sister of one following her disappearance, to say he'd sexually assaulted and murdered her. Police have searched the home and offices of the architect under arrest. In the area where victims were found, they say 11 sets of human remains have been discovered in recent years, but they've declined to comment on a link to Huerman beyond the 4 women. Relatives bereaved have welcomed news of an arrest.
I just want to say that I'm grateful for the hard work that's been done. I'm grateful that today is happening.